Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be comparing the Kokuyo Jibun Techo B6 with the Hobonichi Techo Diary A6. This is going to be a full comparison, so I apologize if today's video is a little lengthier. Without further ado, let's get started. So what comes with your purchase? When you purchase the Jibun Techo, it comes with this clear cover as well as the color that you choose. And of course, it comes with the planner itself. When you purchase the Hobonichi Techo A6, it comes without a clear cover and it only comes with the planner exclusively. You can buy the cover separately. This one is from Midori and you can pop those on, and they have a number of other types of covers as well that are not clear and that are actually like fabric, and I'm sure you guys know those ones are very popular. In terms of pencil boards, I do always like purchasing one regardless of the size, so I do have an A6 size from the Hobonichi and a B6 size from the Jibun Techo. In terms of differences, they are extremely similar. I would say the Hobonichi is a little bit thicker cardboard, the Jibun Techo is a little thinner and a little more flexible, and the only other difference that I can really see is the placement of the Today tab. So this one can be at the top left or the top right, so it can just peek out at the top. Whereas the Jibun Techo is down at the bottom or at the top, so it will peek out from the side. I don't really have a preference, it just kind of depends on how many other tabs I have going at the same time, so those are pretty similar. And then in terms of index tabs, I did buy these from Jibun Techo, and they have kind of a hard time adhering. I've had a couple of these pop back up, but I do like that they are kind of a more neutral gray. This is from the Biz version, and they do have a couple extra tabs to note some of the extras. So this one tabs 100 wishes. With the Hobonichi, I did not have the pleasure of getting the Hobonichi specific tabs. These ones are from Midori, but these ones do adhere really nicely, and I've had no pop-up issue. So moving on to the contents of these two planners, they both come with what I call fun pages. So in terms of the Jibun Techo, at the beginning here, you get your dream for 2024, your event, 100 wishes, and then a couple blank pages for your kind of list of. And then in the Hobonichi A6, all of these fun pages are at the back rather than the beginning, so it gives you some neat information on a recipe here, an interview with yourself, your 100, some international size charts and conversion tables, and some contacts. And it also comes with 13 blank dot grid pages, whereas the Jibun Techo comes with 2 blank pages at the back, which are just grid regular pages. Moving on to your year at a glance, the Jibun Techo comes with 1 full page dedicated to 2024, and then a split page of the last year of 2023 and your future year of 2025. And in the Hobonichi Techo, you get a full page for 2024 as well, and then 1 page dedicated to 2025. The Techo A6 does not come with a 2023 to look back on, but I believe the cousin still does, so that is something to consider as well. And then when you turn the page, here is your other kind of year at a glance as well. And in the A6, you get 4 months per 2 pages, so 2 months per page, and you do get quite a lot of room for each line for dates or whatever you'd like. And it even comes with some extra as well, so we have up until March of the new year. In the Jibun Techo, you get 1 spread for the entire year. Apologies, this one is being used for my subscription count or subscriber count, and quick note to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I love you. And anyway, so it comes with a little less space here. I would compare this more similarly to the Hobonichi Weeks in terms of the amount of room that you get. So definitely not as much compared to the Hobonichi. Moving on to the monthly, I've zoomed you guys in a little bit. You have the days of the week at the top. On the left side, you have some spots for check boxes. The bottom comes with a built-in Gantt chart for trackers or anything else, any projects you want to track. The bottom comes with the next 3 months available, and then the actual calendar itself comes with these rectangular boxes with little emoticons to track your mood, and then the date in a little square box. After the month, you do always get a couple free rectangles, which I have noticed month to month. And every Saturday is colored in with blue, and every Sunday is colored in with red. In the Hobonichi Techo, it is a little more simplistic. This could be because I have the English edition. I'm sure that the Japanese version does have a little more to it, which I know it does. But anyway, you still get some space on the left here for extra notes. It just doesn't have any designated check boxes, which is not a big deal. And then the days of the week, which are just plain there, and then every Sunday is red. And each of the actual days of the month are in a square box compared to a rectangular box. And then you do have some free space at the bottom here if you wanted to try and fit in a tracker. And then you do have the next couple days of the new month upcoming. Here I'm going to be talking about dailies and kind of delving into more about the actual paper itself. So at the beginning of every new month, the Jibun Techo gives you kind of an organizer and a reflection. So I have translated these little characters here, and a lot of it is about things that you enjoyed in the past month, what you're looking forward to this month, things that you could have kind of learned, and a couple other things that are slipping my mind at this moment. So if that is really functional for you, that can be amazing. For me personally, I have gone ahead and kind of covered the characters and written my own goals and such, but it is still really a good space. And then in the Hobonichi Techo, you do just get some plain lines, which I would personally prefer just because it's a little bit more free, and it just says coming up, and yep, just some blank lines. And then in the actual day, I think this layout is really cool. So at the top here, you have all the days of the month, and then you can see that the divider down the middle is on the day of the month that it is. So it is March 1st, and you know that because it's under the first there. It also says right there, but just kind of helpful to have it in two places. You can also use this area to note any events coming up. You can write it directly above, which I think is really cool. And then this is a time tracker down the center here. So you can see this, that it goes from gray to white, and the white indicates the number of daylight hours that you get. Again, super cool, I think, just to have that. On the left here, you get some check boxes to have a running to-do list if you want, and that goes down almost all the way to the bottom. And then the right side is just blank for you to do your time tracking here. At the bottom right corner, you have your month overview, and the day of the month is circled, as well as the week of the year. And then the bottom left, you have these little emoticons if you want to do a daily reflection or anything like that. And I forgot to mention up here, you have the weather, if you want to circle what the weather is like, or whatever else you want, and the moon phase. In the Hobonichi Techo, again, because this is the English version, it is a little more simplified, so you do get the moon phase as well. And then along the side here, you get a simplified time tracker, which only has 12 p.m. on it. Again, in the Japanese version, you do get a little more detailed. And then at the bottom, you have a quote every day, and also your month with the day circled. So again, this one's a little more simple, but you also have more room to more like playroom if you want some more blank space there. I am going to move on to swatches, but before I do that, I'm just going to note that the Jibun Techo has 52 GSM Kokuyo thin paper, and the Hobonichi A6 has also 52 GSM Tomoe River paper Sanzen, and that is the new Tomoe River paper. So both are 52 GSM, just the type of paper is a little bit different, and I'm going to show you how they fare against different inks. I have the Uniball Erasable Gel, Pilot Friction, Uni Jetstream, Zebra Sarasa Dry, Uniball 1P, Pentel Energel Clenna, Muji Platinum Carbon, which is a fountain pen, Koeko, which is a fountain pen, the Pilot Parallel, the Z-Dot Marker, the Mild Liner, Unipropus, the Window Highlighter Tombow, and then I'm also doing a pen plus highlighter swatch combo. There was 3 seconds between each swipe and 5 seconds between each swipe for the fountain pens. So immediately we can see that the Jibun Techo paper smudges significantly more, and I think that was one of the selling points of the new Sanzen paper, is that it is much more quick drying and absorbent, and that holds true here. You can see that on every single test that was done, the Jibun Techo paper smudged a lot more. Then if we flip the page, I'm just going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. This is the Jibun Techo. And a reminder that the order goes pens up here, markers and highlighters down here, and then a combination of the two to the left here. You can see bleed through in the Pilot Parallel, the Z-Dot marker, the Z-Dot, and a couple of the highlighters. But in terms of the pens, I'm not seeing any bleed through, only ghosting. And that even holds true to the combination of the two. In the Hobonichi, I can see a lot more bleed through, so you can see even in the Pentel Energel that is bleeding through, and the looks like the Sarasa Dry just a little bit is peeking through as well. At the bottom here, the Z-Dot as well as the mild liners or the highlighters are bleeding through a little bit as well, and where I did the combination test, that is bleeding through as well, and the Pilot Parallel a little bit too. So in terms of bleed through, I'm going to give it to the Jibun Techo, but I'll have you have a look for yourself as well. And then in terms of the actual writing experience, I would say the Jibun Techo reminds me of the old Hobonichi paper in terms of how it writes. So it's a little more smooth because it's not absorbing as fast into the paper. So if you want to use really juicy fountain pens, that's going to give you that sensation. Whereas the new Tomoe River paper Sanzen, because it is kind of drying as you're writing, it is definitely a little more scratchy. I can feel it in the fountain pens and the highlighters especially. They have some drag. I did do a full in-depth comparison of the new and old Tomoe River paper if you want to go check that out. But yes. In terms of my final thoughts, I love both of these planners dearly and actually have nothing disparaging to say about either of them. I think what it ultimately comes down to is how you want to use your planner, which is why I have opted for both of them. I don't think that I could only have one of these because I use my Hobonichi Techo as a journal and then my Jibun Techo as a kind of work and activity planner, and I think that is working wonderfully. If you are looking for a planner that is more business oriented, you really want to know where your time is going, you want to get your tasks off of your to-do list, and you want to just have a better grasp of the days as they're passing by, I would recommend the Jibun Techo. I think that it is a great all-encompassing planner, and you can also buy refills as well, just to have some extra paper at the back. And this is still the Kokuyo thin paper. So if you enjoy that paper, the supplements come in the exact same paper as well. If you are looking for more of a free space journal where you can use it for some scrapbooking, some journaling, some watercolor, or any other junk journal ideas, then I would recommend the Hobonichi Techo. I think it gives you much more freedom in terms of the space that you get and how you want to use it. And even in the monthlies, they are definitely a lot more simple and you can decorate them however you want, especially with stickers. I am a sticker fan, so I do like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it gave you some insight into these two planners and maybe made your decision a little bit easier. I think the Jibun Techo is not as talked about on the internet here, and I wanted to shed some light on it because it is amazing and I've been loving mine. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.